Hello, welcome to another interesting episode of Eurozone on the Our Media channel, where today we'll be reviewing the UEFA Europa League final that happened in Dublin in Ireland between Atalanta and unbeaten Bayer Leverkusen. They were on a 50-game run unbeaten streak, but then it was Gasperini's men who stole the show and also grabbed their first European trophy after thumping Bayer Leverkusen by 3-0 in the finale in Dublin. But then I've been joined by one of the best analysts in the business to analyze what happened on the day and how Atalanta were able to get the better of high-flying Bayer Leverkusen in Dublin to be crowned champions in the UEFA Europa League. And by virtue of that, they qualify for next season's UEFA Champions League. And what a team they are, Atalanta. But then let me welcome first, who will be my analyst and pundit for today. First, welcome to the show, Eurozone on our video channel. But then it was Atalanta that put up, a 10 out of 10 performance after they trashed Bayer Leverkusen, a team that had gone unbeaten the entire season. They were on a 50-game unbeaten streak. But then it was Atalanta that stayed resolute and more, hungry for the win, and they have been crowned champions in the UEFA Europa League.
Well, I think that's going to be one of the greatest shocks in the in the league this season, both in the league and then in the Europa League this season. You see, I before the match, a couple of days ago, I was trying to analyze and say that Atalanta has actually no chance against Bayer Leverkusen, considering what Bayer Leverkusen has been able to do over the past couple of months. You understand? I mean, coming into 2024, the kind of form that they had and the kind of football that they were playing, I felt tactically and technically, yes, Gasperini's has a lot more experience compared to Xavi Alonso. But when it comes to implementation of the tactics, when it comes to the implementation of the ideas, Bayer Leverkusen has been able to do it better than Atalanta this season. So it was a big shock for me, for the fact that the funny thing is that it wasn't even a goal to nil or two. You understand? It was three clinical goals. You understand? But I think on the day it was a bit of tactical, nuances and then a bit of a loss of focus on the part of Bayer Leverkusen that made it impossible for them to win the Europa League. But on the whole, I think that Atalanta has done really well. I think in their 106 years of existence, this is the second time that they've been able to lift a trophy. So it just tells you the spirit that Bergamo had with them. It tells you the spirit, the desire that Atalanta had with them. And I am not going to say that Bayer Leverkusen lacked drive. You understand? Because they were in the hunt for the treble. I get to the point. So they also had the drive. They also had the hunger to win the Europa League. But just that at the end of the day, they were no match for Atalanta, which is quite surprising.
All right, so let's talk about the dynamic sound of the game. One, there's Gasperini, who has been in the game for over 25 years. He's never won any major trophy. But then, mind you, he's been voted twice the Serie A coach of the year. And also, there's an Atalanta team that no one gave them a chance at all to beat Bayer Leverkusen in the final. But then also, mind you, they went to Anfield to win by 3-0. So we are looking at two factors over here that actually propelled Atalanta to win the trophy. One is Gasperini, who is a very, very experienced manager, and also Atalanta that had beaten Liverpool and also Marseille to enter the final.
That is why I did indicate that what Atalanta did this season, right? Not in the Italian Serie A, but in the Europa League. Mm-hmm. You see, when they beat Liverpool, I thought that they were doing something great. Because they went to beat Marseille as well, and then they've gone to beat Bayer Leverkusen. So in the competition this year, they've beaten three of the topmost teams in the Europa League. So it just tells you that yes, they've got some hunger about them, they've got some energy, they've got some zeal about them. But you see, at the end of the day, I'm not going to say that Bayer Leverkusen has had a poor season, because they've had a fantastic season. This season is going to go down as one of the best in their 125 years history.
A 50-game unbeaten.
A 51-game unbeaten, which is incredible. Not even the great Bayern Munich side has been able to achieve that. Not even Real Madrid has been able to achieve that. But on a day, I would say that Atalanta did play well. Tactically, technically, they did, especially when you watch the first goal, the way Ademola Lookman was able to sniff in behind and then just tag the ball. It just shows you the tactical awareness and the fact that they were more hungrier on the day. So it might boil down to the tactics, but at the end of the day, the players on the pitch must also they must exhibit the desire to go the extra mile. And on the day, Atalanta was able to exhibit that desire.
Finally, a quick one on this. We're talking about Ademola Lookman, who won the game for Atalanta single-handedly, a hat-trick. And that's just the second time in the entire history of the Europa League it's happened for a single player to score a hat-trick, in a deciding game like that. But after his exploit in the AFCON, that ended a couple of months ago, would you say that he deserves to be crowned African Player of the Year?
I don't think that Ademola Lookman deserves to be crowned African Player of the Year, because you can't tell me that he's had a fantastic season. The fact that he scored 3 goals in the Europa League finals, that doesn't give him the urge over players who have been fantastic throughout the season. You see, so because if you look at Ademola Lookman, his entire career from England, especially Everton, right, straight to what's the name, Atalanta, he's not had a great season. Yes. In beats, you realize he plays very well, right? I mean, a couple of weeks then, but when you take the span of the entire 54 weeks in the season, he doesn't really play that well over a longer span for him to have a shout out for being the best player in Africa. He doesn't.
So that's according to Forza Pandit for today. He's saying that Ademola Lookman, despite being brilliant for Nigeria in the just ended AFCON and also in the Europa League final against Leverkusen by scoring 3 goals, he doesn't really get a shot to win the African Player of the Year. But then there's Atalanta, and we are going to congratulate them because they beat Leverkusen by 3-0. There's a Leverkusen team that were on a 51-game unbeaten streak from the start of the season to where we are currently. That's why we draw the curtains on the Ozone on the Our Media channel. My name is Josiah. I was joined by Force on set. Thanks for having you. And for now.